Greetings, denizens of the interwebs. Grim Fury here, and it's Tuesday, time for another video. So what do you say we just go ahead and get started with things customers do that drive cashiers crazy, number 14. Now this is only for, obviously, only a handful of customers, as most of my rants are, because the vast majority of the people don't do the things that I've ranted about. This is an even smaller group or population, if you will. It's people that abuse the tax exempt status, I guess is what you can call it. I don't know how many other retail stores out there, but the one I work at, certain people and organizations can get a card that makes them, well, tax-free for almost everything in the store. Usually at the bottom of the card, it usually tells you kind of like what category it falls on, whether it's government or farming or resale. So the ones that I'm pinpointing on in this video are the ones that the card says that is for resale. Alright, now let me just say that if there's some kind of rules that I'm not aware of, because I'm just a cashier, I'm not the one that makes up these rules, I'm not the one that issues the tax exempt status. So if I'm wrong here, then I'm going to go ahead and apologize. But just by looking at the card, it says resale. So I think I'm probably right. So with that out of the way, it's usually like restaurants that I've seen, and if it's a store, then okay, because then I could see it. But this is mostly restaurants, which is going to be small ones, I would imagine. I haven't seen any big, family restaurants come in, at least not overnights. But it's these other ones, they come in, and they're loading their stuff on the belt, and they hand me their card, and they tell me they're tax exempt, which all of you that use these cards should know by now. Hand us the card before we start checking stuff out. This should be I'm just going to put these two rants together, because the company that I work for, the way it works is we have to put that number in at the beginning of the transaction before we scan anything. Otherwise, we have to delete everything and start over. We cannot do it in the middle. We cannot do it at the end. And I've had several people in the past, you ring up a whole bunch of stuff, $100, $200, $300 worth of stuff, and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, here's my tax exempt card. And you're like, really? Now I have to abort this entire thing and start over because I needed that card at the first. And then usually they give you a dirty look, like it's our fault. It's like, we're not supposed to, and nor should we need to ask every single customer that comes up to our line if they're tax exempt or not. So anyways, like I said, it's the restaurants that have the tax exempt for resale, and they buy stuff that darn well is for personal use. It's not for the restaurant, it's for their house. They're buying their groceries, their supplies, and it irritates the absolute hell out of me, because just like I said, just by what it says on the little tax exempt card, it says resale. That means the stuff that they're supposed to buy, that they're getting a tax break on or not paying tax on, is for stuff that they are going to resell at their business, their restaurant. And here they are, they're buying, toiletries, like toilet paper. And you can tell it's not that restaurants are not going to use, the household toilet paper. They're usually going to buy the industrial, or whatever the heck you want to call it. They're buying toothpaste and mouthwash. They're buying pants and underwear. They're buying baby formula, and they're buying diapers. stuff that you know darn well they're not selling, at their restaurant, and you hope to God that they're not selling. Because if they are, where are they putting this stuff? And, how are you getting it? I mean, do they walk in there and, they hand you your little menus and they're like, we're trying something different than, some people are just really, really messy. We're not saying you are, but we've got some people that are really messy. So instead of just giving you just regular, paper napkins or even the cloth ones like some of the fancier places do, we're going to give you each a diaper that you can spread out, because everyone knows that diapers are just so absorbent. They'll absorb your entire drink if you just pour it in there, which, we wouldn't recommend you doing, because then you'll have to pay for another one. But we're just going to give you each a diaper that you can open up and spread out and either tuck it in your shirt or lay it across your lap, whichever you want. And even better, we're going to give you the choice of using either Huggies, Pampers, or Parents' Choice. And some of them have little designs on it, so you can choose the designs. You can choose whether you want it plain or whatever. But we're doing that as if something new. We're going to try that out and see how well that works. What? I don't eat out a lot, but I had yet to see somebody use diapers as something you have to buy that goes with your order, or whether they're using it to wipe down counters. I haven't seen it yet. And what if you find out, this restaurant, you're like, what, I would like a tall glass of milk. They're going, oh yes, we've got some of the best tasting milk in this whole area. Now, would you like it to be Infamil, Neutrogena, huh? Oh yes, our milk is made from powdered formula, because it's got it's got more nutrients. It's better for you. If you're kind of lactose intolerant, we've got kinds that are that. We've got some that's soy. It's just a whole broad range of different kinds you can get. They all taste good. We're running a special on them right now, so you can just buy one glass and get the second glass for 10% off. We're just so happy about this. What are these people using this stuff for? And like I said, darn well that they're buying stuff that they use at home, stuff that's for their own personal use, and they're using their tax exempt status to save themselves a little bit of money. Far be it from me. Like I said, if this is allowed, then okay. But if I'm right, then that's what, tax fraud? Because obviously, if they're not paying tax, somebody is paying for it. Either all of us as a whole, or the amount that they normally would have paid. I would imagine that they're not, their customers are not paying it, because, obviously that's not an expense to them. So, the general populace is paying for it somehow. I don't know how, but, that money's got to come from somewhere. So that's one thing that just really irks me more than anything, is people that, I guess you'd say, abuse the system, or there's a benefit available and they can get it and they will, abuse it. What's that old phrase? Give someone an inch and they'll take a mile. Well, yeah, that's the case when it comes to this. Now, like I said, this is only a very small percentage of the people that have tax exempt status that come through my line. Most people, their organizations or their farmers or government agencies or whatever, whichever ones qualify. I don't know the specifics. I don't know all who qualifies. But those people I can see, okay, they're getting all this stuff. And every once in a while, something will be scanned and it'll say, do you accept tax? Which means they have to pay tax on this item. And, 99.9% of the time they do. But it's the people that buy stuff that is for a business, and it's got the business name up at the top, and it's for resale. And you see them buying stuff, like I said, that is their personal items. I've seen people buy, lots and lots of clothing, and, boxed cereal and gallons of milk, and it's like, most of the stuff you know darn well is for their home use. Some of the items, it could go. It all depends. But there are certain things, like I said, that people will get, and you know darn well that they're not using at their restaurant, or you're hoping to God that they don't. And one thing that I cannot stand is people that abuse the system, that they find a little loophole and they exploit it. Or, I'll get, I'll give you another little example. I probably, whether I use it in a rant or not, I don't know. But people that, some people, not a lot, not all, but some people, when they're on food stamps and they use at least half, if not more of it, to buy nothing but junk. Or they buy really expensive items. They buy T-bone steaks, they buy briskets, they buy $30 packages of jerky or several packages of $10 jerky. Or they buy case after case after case of energy drinks. That's not what that's for. That is for people that can't really afford to buy groceries for their family. So you're given, food stamps or money, digital money, so you can buy stuff to make meals for you and your family, so that way you always have something to eat. It's not meant to buy really, really expensive stuff or a bunch of junk food. Now, I don't have a problem with a little bit, but a bunch, no. So like I said, I cannot stand people that abuse the system, and that's what I think some of these people are doing that are tax exempt. They're buying stuff that you know darn well you're not going to sit down to your local family restaurant and be, yes, I would like, let's see, I would like the beef enchiladas in the Huggies diaper. Make sure it's wrapped tightly, because the last time I got it in a Huggies diaper, it wasn't wrapped tightly and most of the filling fell out. I want a tall glass of the Neutrogena and milk, whatever that's called. And make sure it's extra cold. Maybe put some ice in there, and I'll have the steak, and I'll have the mashed potatoes, and put a little bit of that formula milk in with the mashed potatoes, make them a little bit creamier. Last time I got them, they were really kind of stiff and kind of dry. I have not seen that. I haven't heard of that, because I'm sure somebody would have been saying something by now. So you people that are abusing the system,
stop it!
Stop it. One of these days, I hope y'all get caught, because there's something that needs to change when it comes to that. And I'm sure it's a loophole, because probably the tax exempt code, it's probably really, really broad. They don't have any, too many exceptions in there. And it's just, a set of numbers that we put in, and it shows who it belongs to. So there's nothing regulating it. There's got to be something where you hit in a specific tax code number, and then that one will have it categorized. Okay, this stuff can be bought under this tax code number. Somebody needs to work on that, because this is getting annoying. And I just know that, these people are not paying tax on this stuff, and they should be, and probably that little bit of extra tax is probably coming out of my pocket and all of you people out there, and that's just not fair. So, anyways, that'll be it for this week. And, sorry, no boxes this week. Maybe next week. I don't know. It's hard to say. But as soon as I get a box, I'll be opening it for all of you, and you'll get to see it with me. So, like I said, that's going to do it for this week. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you had a good time. I hope I made you smile, possibly even laugh. I just hope you had a good time. And I hope you will all join me next week for another video. If you liked, what you saw here, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Just go ahead and just smash that little like button like crazy, like you're really, really angry at it. I don't care if I get an angry like. I'll take any kind of like I can get. And also, granted, I don't get too many people watching my rants, but you know, if anybody watching this, if you'd like to help support me on a more personal and financial, level, then please check out my page at patreon.com/grimfury. Lots of different tiers I've created, and I've got some really low tiers. I've got one as low as $2 a month. So please, think about it, consider it, and I appreciate all of your love and support that you give me. And I will continue to do these videos as long as I can. So thank you so very much for watching. I love you guys so very much. I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't do this if this wasn't for you. So all the thanks goes to you guys. I love you all, and join me next week for another video, and I will see you then. Toodly doodly! Yeah.